Hey friends, it's Coach Josh here, and we're kicking off the new year, and I'm really excited to see everybody succeed and to look at the victories. I'm getting great messages. I'm getting evidence of the success that people are already having via their measurement panels. Now, what I wanted to share with you is a little bit of a paradigm shift around exercise today. I want to talk about training and specifically what counts as exercise. A lot of people, whether they're part of this group or not, message me and ask like, "Hey, does this workout count towards my goal, or what does this is this count as a rest day or an off day, or what is that?" And I want to add some clarity to that conversation because it's really interesting and it can sometimes be a little bit counterintuitive. Let me explain. Like your goal, whatever your fitness goal is, there's many things that get you there. There's how you eat, how you sleep, how you train. The thing about training is part of this equation is that oftentimes people overestimate how hard they need to work in order to get the result that they want. And what I mean by hard is training intensity. So to build muscle, for instance, you can build muscle with body weight without using any weights at all. Now it might not be as fun. It might take a little bit more practice, but gymnasts are a great example of very lean, muscular people who don't use any weight training at all in their routines. Now, that's probably not the fastest way to get there, but it just goes to show you that all kinds of things can get you to where you want to go. So if you think about it as a spectrum, instead of black or white, instead of like an hour of high intensity interval training as a block of a training unit, instead of thinking about it as hard training or no training, think about things with more of a spectrum, like having a growth mindset. So thinking in terms of a spectrum, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of levels of intensity. And I'm going to walk you through a general sort of intensity spectrum of training, and and explain why all of them count towards your goal if you're doing it on purpose and intentionally. And here's what I mean by this. So let's say we're going to go crawl up the scale. We're going to start at a 1. That might be walking for 10 minutes a day. So that's going a deliberate walk by yourself, with your partner, walking your dog, whatever it is, but choosing to go on a walk and chill out and get some sunshine and enjoy the air. Now, that is a level 1. A level 2 would be doing your dynamic warm up, or doing your stretching, or doing some sort of a mobility routine a few times through 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. That's a little bit more deliberate movement. That's a little bit more precise, a little bit more specific, a little bit more demanding as well. So doing that a few times through, I said 10 to 15 minutes, not necessarily longer than the walk, but it's a little bit more deliberate. That would be a 2. A 3 could be 30 minutes of training 3 times per week at a moderate intensity. So doing maybe light weights, maybe doing a cardio machine where you're deliberately challenging your body for 30 minutes 3 times a week. That would be like a nice level 3. Level 4, 30 minutes of training plus a 20-minute walk every day. Right? Now we're at level 4. Level 5, 3 1-hour workouts plus walking. Level 6, 4 gym workouts plus a long hike or a long walk on the weekend. So you're doing a recreational activity, and you're doing 4 specific moderately intense gym workouts. Level 7, 5 gym workouts plus weekend hike. Level 8, 60 to 90 minute hard workouts per week. These are taxing. These are longer. You're doing strength training. You're doing metabolic conditioning. You're doing a real hard training 6 times a week. That would be a level 8. Level 9 would be 6 days a week training 2-a-days. So you're doing a morning lifting session, an afternoon cardio session, right? You do 2-a-days every day except for Sunday. That would be like a level 9. And a level 10 is something like where your job is to be physical. Maybe you're in the NFL and you're doing a combine, or you're working out and you're doing skill training, and you're doing everything you're doing is a workout, right? And that would be a level 10. Now, you don't have to live at a level 10 to be in great shape, right? You can be at a 4 or 5. So you don't have to maximize your intensity every single day, every single week. So the when it counts as training is when you're doing it on purpose, not when you're moving around accidentally. So, for instance, let's say you're a nurse at a hospital. You might get 20,000 steps in a day, but that's part of your overall, that's part of your job, that's part of your life plan, that's part of what got you into the condition that you're in right now. So doing something that is the same and labeling it as a workout is not changing, it's not investing any time or energy or focus into your health. So to get the level one for the nurse, he or she would have to set aside some time to take out for themselves so that they can go for a walk, clear their head, enjoy themselves, maybe breathe, maybe do a walking meditation. All those things count, all those things matter, but it's something that they weren't doing before that they're adding in. Now it counts as training. Now, same thing with stretching and mobility. You could just, if you're doing 20,000 steps a day, maybe you don't want to walk anymore. Maybe you do more stretching, right? Well, that's another way to get into the game, so to speak. So, what makes it valuable is that it's intentional, and that you're doing it on purpose. You're not like you have the intention, and then you're executing it. It's not a relabeled habit that you used to have that you're doing accidentally anyway and calling it part of your program. That's basically the litmus test for whether or not it counts for exercise. So, that being said, you can customize the 1 to 10 scale so that it fits your, if you're an athlete, maybe you push it up higher. If you're a little bit more sedentary, maybe you push it lower. But in general, that is a good dial to crawl up and down in as your life gets more or less demanding. And when things happen where you go on vacation, you don't have access to a gym, or you're taking care of a sick family member, something's going on in your life, then you dial it down to a 1 or a 2. What you don't do is you don't push pause and wait for things to get better, because things will continue to happen. And what you end up practicing is we end up practicing this pause button mentality that keeps us from being all in on our health and focusing our attention where we have it. So if you don't have time to get to the gym 5 days a week, great. Go twice a week and start working on your food, right? You can always be on plan. You can always be engaged. You can always be on program as long as you're intentional about it and you decide when you're going to dial it up and dial it down. So the more consistent you are, the better health that you're going to have over the long term. And as coaches, we always talk about it with one another. I would much rather see somebody work out for 10 years at 70% intensity than to work out for 1 year at 110% intensity, because the results are going to be so much different. You're going to get much better results over the long haul if you just do it consistently versus all or nothing and most of the time settling for nothing. So that hopefully answers the question, gives you some perspective on, is this training, does this count? And I want to add further clarity. If you have any questions on that, give me a comment, reach out to me. Happy to be specific for your situation. Hope you're having a great day.